welcome everyone. Next we have Namratha Mateti, a machine learning engineer at Unity Technologies. She specializes in building scalable AI solutions to enhance user engagement through personalization. She is also a Penn State alumna with a master's in data analytics. Her talk is titled Future of AI in Personalization and Decision Making. Please help me welcome Namratha Mateti.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I'm here to talk about future of AI in personalization and decision making. I know many of you will be already using Instagram, YouTube, and you have seen how our lives have been so much personalized already. Quick intro about myself. So I'm a machine learning engineer at Unity, and I am building solutions to personalize games for users. I've been with Unity for 2+ years now. And before that, I did my master's in Penn State University. During that time, we also participated in Itani AI Challenge. Brad is here. So yeah, we actually won first prize out of 42 teams that year. So here is a quick rundown of what we are going to look at. We'll first define what personalization is and try to understand the balance between relevance and privacy. And we'll take a look at how personalization has evolved over years, and we'll touch down on how important it is to see ethical, trustworthy, and responsible AI is required, because with great power comes great responsibilities, right? And also we'll dive into future of AI in personalization and decision making, like the heart of this topic. So for students, since I was expecting more students, I also added my interview experiences before landing at Unity, which could be helpful for students. Some pro tips, and maybe leave a bonus with you at the end. So stick for that. So you might have already seen, like, personalization is everywhere, even if you notice cautiously or not. It's everywhere already in our daily lives. For example, if you see ads on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, so you'll see ads based on your user behavior, preferences, and interests. It's not random, but it's personalization at work. You see Spotify playlists. Have you ever wondered, like, how Discover Weekly comes up, or other playlists might come up? Like, it's all like being used your personalized data, and they are just using and understanding your music preference over time. And also, of course, Netflix shows. You can see for each account, you can see personalized and curated shows that you want to watch, or that you have watched, or similarly that you want to watch. It's all there. So at times, it feels pretty convenient. Like if you add a product on Amazon, and it will show another product that you might already want, and it will save so much time for you. You don't have to really go search for it. You can just go take a look at Amazon's choice product and add it to cart, buy it. But also, I think, for example, let's say I'm also planning a trip to Europe with my friends, and then when I open Instagram, it starts showing me all flights to Europe or stays at Europe. So at times like that, it might feel invasive. So the real question is, how do we balance the act between delivering relevance and also respecting users' privacy? So the more data we share, it becomes more convenient, but also I think users also need to be respectful about their privacy. Now let's take a look at how personalization has evolved over years. So it all started in 1990s. So that's when, like, early digital experiences have started, and they used to use rule-based logic, like if-else logic. And then in 2000s, that's when, like, actual recommendation engines have come into emergence. And companies like Amazon and Netflix, they started using collaborative filtering recommendation engines, which means, like, user A has watched a show and user B also watched a similar show. And if user A is watching other show, they are more likely to recommend the other show to user B. So that's how, like, collaborative filtering works. It did improve user experience a lot, but again, it's not uniquely personalized, because it's at a user segmentation level. And in 2010s, that's when we have adopted data-driven personalization. So when we are using data, systems started understanding the patterns behind the data, and that's how, like, big organizations started like using data and trying to curate more personalized results. And we are in 2020s. So this is the era of hyper-personalization powered by AI and machine learning. So previously, it used to be just understanding what users have done in the past. But right now, with AI, it will predict what users might want in the future, even before like users noticing it. So when you open YouTube, maybe like it will just show a good recommendation that you never realized or you don't want to watch it, but it just comes and you just start following a new channel now. So that's how like hyper personalization is. And I think like in going into the future, it will be more like context-aware predictive personalization. So right now, we are predicting what users might want. But in future, it could be more like when users want it and why users want it, not just what. So I can also see like personalization where it can like where AI can seamlessly be integrated across all our devices, all platforms, and it just blends into our daily lives. Be it on my phone and laptop, it can just be added everywhere across devices. This is a little bit technical deep dive, like for tech people. So yeah, it started with rule-based personalization, like I mentioned. So if user has clicked on X category, then maybe start suggesting products from that category. So it's like if-else condition. And then we have moved to machine learning-driven personalization, where instead of static rules, we started actually using data and understanding patterns within it. Example, Amazon recommendations. And then we also have, so when we got into deep learning is, as data started growing more, models became complex. And machine learning models cannot digest huge amounts of data. That's when we started using deep learning and neural networks, which allowed us to understand user behavior in a much more nuanced way, because it is capable of digesting huge amounts of data. I think like right now we are at LLMs and generative AI. I'm sure everyone has used ChatGPT or using every day for daily tasks. So models like BERT and GPT, so they have changed the level to next, like understanding language or context, they've just leveled it up. So these are making easier, and I'm sure like you might have seen more voice bots, chat bots, personal assistants are coming up. Like they've just raised a lot in past 2 years, and you'll continue to see more of those in coming years. Going into future, it's real-time personalization engines. So it will start recommending in real time as the user does actions in real time. And also autonomous agents. So these agents would do everything for you. Like you don't have to, if you want to go to a trip, it will start booking a hotel for you. It will start booking flights for you. It will just curate the entire personalization without you giving minimal input to it. It can just do everything in the background. So that's where like we are headed towards. And we can see how context-aware personalization can blur the fine lines between proactive assistance and agents taking decision itself. So now we have understood like powerful capabilities of AI and personalization. I think it's also important for us to address ethical, responsible AI. How important is it to create ethical AI? So first thing is always having user trust. So trust is very important. If user feel that their data is being misused or they don't have control over their data anymore, they might disengage. So organizations must be very transparent in telling how they are going to use your data, how they are going to collect your data. And also avoiding over-personalization. Like I mentioned, personalization feels comfortable. It makes our lives much more convenient. But if we are doing over-personalization, it might feel like users are being watched continuously. They are not able to do anything. I'm sure like maybe sometimes you have felt while talking something about, and then you'll be like, okay, this is gonna show up on my Instagram anyways. So yeah, I think over-personalization just invades space. And also I think like systems have to be transparent, fairness, it has to be fair and also be explainable of why users are being recommended with such products or posts, for example, and also protecting user privacy. This is not deniable. And right now, privacy regulators like GDPR, they are setting bar high because privacy has been becoming more of a concern these years. So I think like organizations can start like using, like minimize user data collection and anonymize personal data as much as they can, so that it doesn't feel like actually you're using someone's personal data. And also users should have more control over their information. So, like we are entering a space where we are blurring lines between, again, technology and user experiences. So as we head into the future of personalization, I think like these are 4 crucial steps, and we are already at hyper-personalization. For example, Spotify algorithm already uses it, and most companies have started using it. And privacy-preserving AI, I think like you might question how organizations do not use personal data, but how can they do personalization? So there are these techniques like federated learning and differential privacy. So they can use techniques like this, and they don't have to even access data directly or store users' data. It can all be done in your device. Your data stays with you, and then they can curate personalization for you. So for example, Apple does that. Apple is always like privacy first, as you know. So it's doing it for Siri, like training Siri and recommendations. So it's already there for Apple and at scale. And I think like, I hope many organizations will adopt this soon. And also autonomous agents. I'm not sure if everyone has used Operator, because it's pretty costly right now. So, but Operator, what it does is, or many other agents. So I am actually coming from California, and I've seen many startups there coming on top of agents. Like every day you see like tens of startups coming working on agents. So agents, what they do is like, it makes your life much easier in different perspectives. Like right now, I think Operator, you just give it a task, write a chat command saying like place an order on DoorDash. It can go do that. Or if it wants to, just like I mentioned, if you want to go for a trip, it can just curate everything for you, do everything on the back end. So that's how like we can see the future is, and I think like it's going to be more accessible right now, not like Operator, but it's going to be more accessible in coming years. And also explainable AI will play an important role going forward again, because for example, if there is a job application and now AI is taking care of that job application instead of humans directly. So we want to see how, if the job application is rejected, users want to understand why the job application has been denied, or if there is a loan, again, loan denial, people want to understand what exactly is happening behind it. And also being transparent with users will earn users' trust, and they'll feel comfortable about using products. So explainable AI again will make more impact in the future. So going to interview experiences before landing at Unity. So I was in your shoes, and I wanted someone to guide on this, but so that's why I added this at the end of presentation. So a quick overview of like how the interview rounds might look like. So there could be, so this is based on like me coming from machine learning data science background, but it could pretty much be the same for SDE roles as well. So for machine learning, again, there could be a screening round, which could be a coding round or take-home assessment. And coding round could be usually like lead code, easy or medium is expected. And then take-home assessment, they'll give you their data, the problem they are trying to solve, a sample data, and they want to see how your approach would look like. And there's no perfect solution for this. They just want to understand what exactly you're trying to do and how well you understand the problem statement itself. So always remember, problem statement is very important. The way you define it and the clarifying questions you ask about it is very important. So once you clear that round, you have final rounds on the same day. Most likely it will be on the same day, like 3 to 6 rounds on average. So in these rounds, again, for machine learning engineers, data science, this could be like one of the rounds could be they would be testing your SQL skills. Maybe like window functions, if you are able to solve window functions, it should be good. And again, another round could be related to data modeling. They'll give you a sample data set and they expect you to build a model and explain what you have done, why you have done in an hour. Like if you do feature engineering or data pre-processing, they just want to understand what you have done and why. And again, if you have 1 hour, they'll expect you to finish it in an hour. And they'll also expect you to have some statistical skills. Like understand central limit theorem, or for example, maybe bias, so basic theory of statistical skills. And also behavioral round is always there in any SDE or any other rounds, and be sure to curate your answers in STAR method. Situation, task, action, and result, so be sure to follow that method. And we do also have like other 2 rounds, which could be like a product round. Again, in product round, like I mentioned, you need to understand the product itself for the interviewer. So if you have not used that product ever, if you have interview, just try to use that product before you interview, so you understand how users can have pain points while using their product, and you can talk about it. Make sure to ask clarifying questions again, and also if you are making some assumptions, just confirm if it's okay to make those assumptions. And understand the goal of the product, and try to always connect it to the mission of the company, what mission it has or the business goal it has. Walk through user journey and ensure like you come up with, at the end, you come up with 3 metrics like North Star metric, secondary metric, and guardrail metric. For example, let's say revenue per user would be my North Star metric. So I am focusing more on revenue, and I want RPU to be my North Star metric. And RPM, maybe like impressions, revenue per 1,000 impressions can be my secondary metric. And for example, guardrail metric could be like if there are page reloads that's failing, the failure should be less than 10 a day. That's my guardrail metric. And because guardrail metric is all about user experience. So we need to you should come up with these metrics. So the interviewer would be convinced that you're really good at their understanding of their product. And there could be another round like A/B testing skills. For this, they don't expect you to have real world experience, but just understanding the terminology would help. Like what control variant is, what test variant is, what sample sizes and traffic sizes, what exactly is the testing period, and how long do you want to test a test. And also understanding different effects like novelty effect, primacy effect. So these effects are, for example, I can explain novelty effect. Like if you are using Snapchat and there might be a new AI filter. So everyone starts using that filter initially because it's new and everyone wants to try it. And then maybe after a week, people stop using it. So if my test size was just for that week, I could be like, oh, users started using it and users love it, so I'll just roll out to all users across. But that should not be the case, because initially there could be a huge lift, but there can again be a drop because users used it because it's new, but not because they really like it. So we need to understand how much testing period should be to launch those new filters or new features in a product. And again, like product understanding is important. Overall trips, maybe like brush up some basic algorithms, evaluation metrics, and when to use them. And also clarify the problem, confirm assumptions. While you're trying to think about it, always try to speak out loud. And also connect your answers with business impact of the company, and use STAR method for behavioral questions. Yeah, bonus. So I actually spoke with a senior advocate at my company who's willing to do a workshop for our Penn State students. So yeah, the workshop will be like getting started with Unity, and maybe, I'm not sure, he might help you build a game, initial game as well. But Prereqs are to sign up for this and install Unity Hub before the workshop, and please scan that QR code to sign up for it. I'll communicate workshop timings and when it's going to happen through that email, registered email. So yes, I'll keep this open, and yeah, I'm open for questions.
How is algorithmic bias being addressed right now when it comes to recommendation engines? I could see, we call it personalization. We have this idea of, it's now all of a sudden we're catering to your specific needs, but you can also see how algorithmic bias could lead us toward echo chambers to actually more limited exposure, taking out the serendipity of finding things that I may not know, nor would others that are similar to me or being classified as similar to me would enjoy. So how are we kind of dealing with algorithmic bias in this personalization side of things?
So I think it's always exploring. Algorithms, they always try to explore users' preferences, because based on your watch history, if companies just recommend based on that, you're not gonna understand or like new concept. So they also have this freshness introducing every time in every algorithm. So when this freshness comes, they try to recommend you different based on your geography or based on your watch history. Again, collaborative filtering. They try to also recommend new videos, for example. And then they try to understand your behavior. If you watch it, if you like it, then again, your entire personalization is going to be curated based on that. But if you don't like it, they're not going to show it again. They just try it. So it's always exploration in the recommendation engine. So accordingly, the personalization gets updated. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sure.
So how can I use AI, specifically like the personalization of data and other things to, for example, me as a computer science student, better my knowledge and better myself in preparation for coding interviews or different things like that? How can I use that so to my advantage?
Right now, I think we don't have any tools as such, like who can actually guide you, AI guide maybe. But I can think of using a chat GPT, like to tell what you have learned, like what your skills are at. You can rate your skills and tell how you are prepping up for upcoming interviews, and then ask it to give you a guide. For example, like if you have any interview with the company, you can ask it to give a guide, and then it can suggest accordingly. Yeah.
I'll ask one more.
Sure.
So we deal with startups quite often.
Yes.
Individuals that have the idea of some sort of recommendation engine that could be a component of their product, but they've got a cold start problem. They don't necessarily have any of the data there yet.
Yeah.
So what is your recommendation for kind of the approach? Do you start with some of those less sophisticated approaches that we used 15 years ago, Netflix did early on? Or are there other ways of synthetically generating data that can be refined over time? How do you deal with personalization in those early stage startups?
Yeah, I think cold start is always a problem for recommendation engines. So at least I know, like I said, we always introduce freshness. You just recommend and then curate based on their interests. And another thing could be, again, data creation, like you mentioned. People can use that, like, again, with the help of ChatGPT or any other tools. But initially, I think it would be difficult. But as their product goes into people and people start using it, they can give maybe like, instead of just doing that, maybe they can give more weight on users using that product versus less weight on the historical data or like created data, synthetic data, for example. So giving more weight and adding freshness to it would help for it, yeah.
Thank
So for me, as a student of Penn State, I was able to like start my own kind of like brand and clothing brand and other stuff like that through kind of like classes that are like here in Innovation Hub.
Nice.
But like through word of mouth, we'll be able to spread and be successful in that way. But right now, we're still trying to figure out ways to be more successful through social media and more spread outreach. So how would you say like the data and personalization of AI can help us do that and reach more, audiences?
More reach. Yeah, I think like maybe you can curate more posts on Instagram and maybe LinkedIn as well, different social media platforms, and then try to actually understand users whom you're trying to promote it. So for example, I'll tell you an example. In India, there's this startup. They try to attract users' attention by sending them memes. So there will be always a meme that's being trending that particular day or that particular time, right? So they'll be using those as their notification title, and they'll be sending it to users. So that's when like users see that and they'll interact with it. So that's one type they are like trying to do it. But yeah, you can come up with how you can actually engage users and try to understand your audience, where you want to promote it, and then do posts curated for them, so they'll be more engaged with it. And once you get a reach, I think like it's a continuous process again. Yeah. Sure.
So, I have a question that's kind of like similar to his, but it's more, let's say, social media based. Let's say I have like a YouTube channel, like a TikTok account or something that I'm trying to run.
Sorry, can you be a little bit
Let's say I have like a YouTube channel, like a TikTok account or something I'm trying to run. How would I essentially like use AI to help me grow that in a sense? Like, would you suggest that to try to schedule posts or doing more research or something? Like, how would you use AI to try to help?
So for that, like I can tell in perspective of LinkedIn what I'm trying to do. So I can build an agent to schedule posts, like you said, engaging posts. So what I can do is I'll follow a couple blogs, maybe Andrew, NG, like deep learning, from where he'll be posting, or some other post where I want to look at their posts and try to, if they're coming up with a research paper or, for example, a new blog. So I want to summarize it and share it with LinkedIn connections sooner, so that like everyone sees it, and also if people starts liking it, it will get more reach. So you could do something like that to be first, and also yeah, like get more. You can use agents for that, like personal agents. There are many frameworks like LangChain, LangGraph. You can use those agents to schedule all your posts. You don't have to do it on your own. We also have VLLMs coming up, since you said YouTube. So it's vision language models. So you can use those models, and I think you can take a look at Hugging Face as well. There are many models deployed. Hugging Face? Yeah. So there are like many tests going on, and people deploy models, and you can also try it out or use those models for on local as well. So you can do that, and yeah, use those agents to schedule or increase reach. Yeah. Since you can't do it on your own, you can use those models and, you know, like maybe post one video every day, which would increase your reach. Yeah, you can use AI agents for that. Yeah. Sure.
My question is about how, what are the important ways that AI is being implemented in like pharmaceutical companies and like biologics companies, healthcare, medicine, like in that kind of space. And then like if you were in the position of hiring for one of those companies and you were looking at people that are coming in and trying to work, recent graduates like myself, what is something, what level of proficiency can be reached, or what are the important aspects of AI that will make us more attractive as a job candidate?
In the healthcare sector, I think the personalization can be, I do not work with healthcare sector, but I can think it of as when they have all your data, And if there is anything that's going to happen, for example, for a user, if there's anything that's going to happen, the model can predict it beforehand and then tell them to do basic tests that's needed. So we can take care of like do a preventive measures beforehand rather than like you wait until that happened. So I think like that's where it can be used, and because it's going to be different for each user, and that's how like the personalization can happen there in healthcare sector. And sorry, what was the second question?
The second part was just like, even just generally, like as a graduate, my time left here, what should I be trying to learn about AI that will make me just a better job candidate, a better professional in general? Since AI is just like touching every space, like what are just like basics that I should learn or look into to understand it?
Yeah. So for you to get into this space, I think you should have solid foundational background. Like I mentioned, you need to like brush up your skills, basic machine learning algorithms. Like for example, you can start with linear regression, logistic regression, and random forest, like how this works, like mathematical intuition behind these models, and then get into basics of deep learning and also like basics of NLP. So with these foundational knowledge, I think you can step into any space irrespective. It doesn't the beauty of this is it's all data. It's any sector, it's going to be the same data. It can be like tabular data or text data. So it's not about the sector, it's all about the data. So if you brush all these skills, foundational skills that you have, you can get into any space. And also, I think like that should be main. And I think I've seen people, like I mentioned, like people are coming up with more startups in agents, and people just want to jump into agents. I think that's not the good way, because if you have your foundational skills strong, you can, again, this agents is gonna be like here for like probably next 5 years, and then we are gonna probably shift completely to another sector, but the foundation will still be the same. So instead of just learning about agents and all, maybe I would suggest like even like LLMs, I would suggest going with the basics of foundational skills. And then if you're interested in vision related models, you can go with computer vision, or text related data, you can go with NLP. So yeah, just brush your foundational skills. That would be my suggestion.
So to kind of like going the answer you just gave, I'm trying to understand, like, are you kind of saying learn the basic foundation of multiple like tech stacks rather than just focusing on all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also doing this maybe while you can also explore what your interests are in actually. Yeah. Sure.
So Unity is known more for its kind of game development
Yeah.
background. So in terms of AI recommendation and personalization for game developers, how do they take advantage of it? And is this kind of industry something that Unity is leading, or are they competing with like Riot Games, Blizzard, Epic, in terms of their use of AI?
So I think personalization in Unity is being used the way in ads, mostly like we have U ads, and it mostly it works as a monetization platform where it's being like a mediator. Publishers can use this, and also advertisers can also like advertise their apps. So if I have a publisher app, advertisers wants to just promote their apps on my app, we try to personalize all those games for users. Like we try to curate those games for users, trying that way when users convert, advertisers are getting their amount, and also publishers are happy because of advertisers, they are also getting revenue, and users, of course, they are happy because all we are showing is personalized offers just curated for them. So that's how right now we are using it. Sure.
A lot of, let me not say all companies, but a lot of companies, especially in the consulting space, are switching towards more so like low code or no code platforms to kind of integrate into companies, because it's more easier, or it's easier to understand for people that don't have CS backgrounds or any type coding backgrounds. So for your experience at Unity and kind of the projection of the company as a whole, do you think that that's something that you guys have already implemented or are more willing to implement? And what is your overall opinion on low code platforms? Do you think that efficient or useful in the grand scheme of terms? Or,
So when you say local platforms, what exactly? Because if we have to use cloud, obviously we are dependent on Google Cloud or AWS that we are using. We don't have in-house cloud. So that could be like third party that we are using to integrate, like to make things easier. We don't want to create everything from scratch again.
Yeah, I was like specifically low-code platforms that are used to create like AI chatbots or something like that, or to kind of a similar thing to OpenAI,
Yeah.
but are more so trained for specific use cases,
Yeah.
which are a lot easier to make instead of trying to make your whole own platform and stuff like that. So
Yeah, actually, thanks for bringing that up. We actually have a in-house, just like ChatGPT, we have a Muse chat where people can chat and try to understand like the code-based repositories and maybe like speak with Confluence pages. And also, so since this is Unity engine, we can give a prompt. So you imagine like where on the playground you're trying to create like a dog trying to pull like a bone from one place to another place. So you can just text to Muse chat and try to help it code for you, and it can do that for, yeah, we have Muse chat in-house.
So is that more so with an expansive code base, like similar to like an OpenAI type system, or have you guys like used like low code or no code like platforms to create those AI chatbots?
So we have used local code, but it doesn't include ChatGPT. We have trained it on our own data and built that. Yeah.
So I promise I only have one last question.
Sure.
But jumping right off of that,
Yeah.
thinking about, again, our startup. I've got very strong opinions on this, but I'm curious of yours. With no-code platforms coming up, with the ability to use
Yeah.
some of the LLMs to say, this is what I want to create, or code this tool for me. Some of our startups are starting to look at it and say, well, I don't need to hire someone with a computer science background.
Yeah.
You were mentioning, some of the fundamentals, understanding random forest, understanding the mathematics behind it, and saying, well, we don't need someone with that expertise. I can just use one of these tools. What are your, there was a terribly biased way of phrasing all this,
Yeah.
but what are your points of view on particularly individuals who are building new products, whether or not that depth of expertise is needed anymore,
Yeah.
or whether or not the new tools that are coming online allow anyone, regardless of computer science background, to be able to create their products?
Yeah, I think for this, you need to understand who you want to be. You need to be a creator versus a user. So if you want to be the creator, even if you're, so to use a no-code platform, you're using some maybe third-party integrations, but the integration actually is coming from a solid code background. So it just doesn't come up. We have to, like if, let's say GitHub Copilot, how does it understand all the code? How does it understand like all the syntax? Someone has trained it. Someone has trained the model to understand, okay, this is this. And when there is a block, try to understand it as a for loop, or for example, how the code executes. So someone has trained it. That's the brain I'm talking about. If you want to be that brain, you need to understand all those basics. But if you just want to use a third party and create another tool, which again is also helpful, I'm not saying you should not do it, which can be doable, which and if you're making others' life easier just by like using no code, again it's possible. It's not like doable, but it's just the difference if you understood it. Yeah. So again, it depends on you how you want to go ahead with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.